our nervous system goes into fight in that moment. It's not regulated. We go into fight mode. And we go and do things in that direction because we feel that in order to get to that thing, we have to self-abandon or become even self-violent toward ourselves. There is a resistance from my nervous system and my body regarding this affirmation. And I feel this resistance if I pay attention and if I'm really aware, I will feel that I'm saying the affirmation and it's very robotic. It's like I'm repeating like a robot and nothing moves. Or I observe that I'm saying it, but my nervous system is quite opposing it, like not feeling okay with it. And I feel it internally. When I was thinking about authority, at some point someone asked me that I was working personally with, how you see authority? And I said, I see authority as something that is limiting me. Welcome to the Limitless Life podcast. I created this podcast, not just another form of content for you. It is created to recalibrate your nervous system and to support your leadership growth. So expect from this podcast to bring you unspoken conversations, to bring you things that you can take and very quickly apply after you see an episode, and also breakthroughs that can happen while listening to this podcast. And today, I will share with you one very interesting subject, why the law of attraction and manifestation doesn't work when your nervous system is in survival mode. Because this is something that we didn't realize when we watched, for example, for the first time, the movie Secret. We watched the movie and we were so excited with it and said, okay, I will apply all of this and it will work. And maybe some of the things really worked, and we applied it and we got so excited, oh, it works. But then we tried to take those things from the Secret movie and apply it on other areas of our life or in other subjects, and surprise, it didn't work. And then the question that we asked to ourselves, okay, I'm wrong. What is wrong with me? Because the law is working. That's why it's called the law of attraction. And I applied. I've seen that it works in so many ways in my own life. And now when I'm trying to apply this very principle and this very law to another subject, to another area of my life, it doesn't work anymore. There is nothing wrong with you. The law of attraction works, but it works when your nervous system is not in survival mode. Because the moment your nervous system is in survival mode, what happens is that your system is not anymore paying attention to opportunities, to possibilities, to something that can happen in your future. It pays attention to threat, to what can go wrong, and to risk, because it's in survival mode. So it tries to protect you. It's in protective mode. It's not in expansion mode. It's not in safe mode. So that's why you can, for example, apply a certain law and use, for example, affirmations that you repeat all day long and you repeat for a year, or use different practices like tapping for $1 million or tapping for more clients in your coaching programs. And at some point you observe that some work and some don't work. Why some work and some don't work? This is the first question, because with some of them, with some of those affirmations and with some of those things that you are telling yourself while you are tapping, your nervous system feels safe and agrees. It's like, yes, I feel safe with that. It can come. And on the other way, with some others, your nervous system doesn't feel safe at all, and it's like in resistance, like, no, this was not my history. This is not something that I agree with. And most importantly, your nervous system will give you some resistance in the body when it feels like threat. Oh, visibility, threat. Oh, so much success, so much money, threat. And when it perceives a threat, then it goes into protective mode, and out of a sudden, the same law of attraction, the same affirmations that helped you to a certain point are not helping you longer, are not helping you to to take you to the next level of success or the next level of success. Yeah, and you reach that ceiling, ceiling that you call it income ceiling, milestone ceiling, but in fact it's a nervous system ceiling. It's a system, it's a ceiling that is internal to your nervous system, is not something external. So, okay, how we solve that? How we bring our nervous system on board so that when we apply all this manifestation work, all this law of attraction work, all this let's say affirmations that we repeat, they really produce a change in our life. And I would just start with an example. It is such a personal example, and I want to share it with you. I don't know if you agree, but our body is an authority in our life. We accept it or not, our body is an authority in our life. And when I say our body is an authority, I mean, what is the role of the authority? The authority in the extreme will punish us or reward us. And in the axis mundi, let's call it like that, in the normal way, the authority just keeps doing its job, what it has to do. Yeah, so our body keeps doing whatever our body is doing. We don't know how our heart is, our heart beats, how everything is processed in our body after we eat. We don't know exactly how this happens, and we don't go inside and say, now take this food, bring it down, go there, do that, and do that. No, our body keeps doing its functions because our body is the authority in our life. Yeah, and it keeps doing its functions. But at some point, when we do things that are not really good for our health, mental health or body health, our body begins to punish us. We have an illness, we have some things that is not working, something is happening, and our body says, hello, stop here, you're doing something wrong. That is the authority way to say, stop. I'm punishing you if you keep doing like this. And then there is the other extreme when our body, because it's the authority in our life, comes and rewards us and says, oh, you've done so good. Look at your skin, it's glowing. Yeah, look at your body, it's better shaped because you're doing something good. So the authority comes and rewards us. Yeah, so it either keeps doing its functions, normal functions, either rewards us or punishes us because our body is the authority. But what happens usually with the nervous system and with our life is that we have a tendency to not realize that our body decides, our nervous system decides, and has this way of voting against an affirmation that we make. So, for example, we make an affirmation, and I will give you an example. We make an affirmation, I am the authority in my life. No one else is the authority in my life. Let's say that I'm making this affirmation because I observed that I have a tendency to outsource my power and allow other people to become authority in my life. And I'm saying this, I am the authority, no one else is the authority in my life. Or I am the authority, I'm the authority, I'm the authority in my life. But let's say that my body, when I'm saying this, I am the authority, I'm the authority, my body doesn't feel safe with this affirmation because inside my nervous system, the nervous system perceives as a threat that I am the authority and no one else is the authority in my life because in my past, at some point, I needed someone else to be the authority in my life because if my parent wasn't there in a certain situation, something very bad could have happened. And it was good that I had someone as an authority in my life. So I can repeat non-stop this affirmation. It will not go through because it comes in conflict and there is a resistance from my nervous system and my body regarding this affirmation. And I feel this resistance if I pay attention and if I'm really aware, I will feel that I'm saying the affirmation and it's very robotic. It's like I'm repeating like a robot and nothing moves. Or I observe that I'm saying it, but my nervous system is quite opposing it, like not feeling okay with it and I feel it internally. Yeah, but I keep saying it because I heard that if I repeat it long time, at some point I will get used to it and my subconscious will take it and act on it. Yeah. It will happen only if your nervous system allows and feels safe with that affirmation. And I said I will share something personal with you. When I was thinking about authority, at some point someone asked me that I was working personally with, how you see authority? And I said, I see authority as something that is limiting me. So I was seeing authority as something that is limiting me. That's why I've always been an independent person. I didn't want authority in my life because authority for me equals something that is limiting me. So when I see authority like this, it's not just about external authority. This means that even myself as an authority in my life, I cannot be an authority in my life. It's so tricky because the moment I see authority like this at a subconscious level, this is the way I see it, then I cannot allow myself to be an authority in my life. And when I decide something, to keep my standards, to go and listen to the authority that I am, because I have this subconscious thought that authority is something bad that limits me, and I don't want any authority in my life, yeah, or I see authority in a bad way. Yeah, I don't feel safe with authority in my life. The moment I tried to formulate an affirmation around that, because affirmation works. Affirmation works. If you do the affirmation that comes in resonance with your nervous system, it will work. And for example, for me, it was not an affirmation that is, I am the authority in my life. It was something like, I allow myself to see authority as something that brings me benefits in my life. Yeah. So it's so mild, you see, I allow myself to see authority as something that brings benefits in my life. And repeating these things, seeing authority as something that can bring benefits in my life, and repeating it, this allowed me, first of all, to allow others, even my body, to be an authority in my life, because I was not connected to my body as an authority. I wouldn't agree that my body is an authority, so I was pushing my body. My body was coming with something like a flu or something. I was like, no, I don't want this flu. Yeah, I know better. I want to go out of it, yeah? And of course, you accept or not the authority of your body is the authority anyway. So authority is not something that you can negotiate anyway, yeah? So seeing the benefits of the authority, the moment I see the benefits of the authority and I begin to get used to that, what happens is that out of a sudden, because I repeat this affirmation, my body, because feels safe with that, with the fact that authority can also bring benefits, then accepts that authority is also good and is not something that limits me, is something beneficial in my life. Once I accept that and I feel safe with that, this affirmation can work and can make a breakthrough in my life in a way or another. So this you can apply to everything. Yeah, in the affirmation that you are repeating every day, or in how you are using the law of attraction. Just observe if you are feeling safe with that affirmation or with doing that thing. I will give you another example with something that I used to do and train my brain and get my brain used to the idea that I deserve more, that I can have more money, and that I can go for a better lifestyle. And I heard at some people who are like millionaires at some point when I was very young, that it's so important to do things that you would not do usually, but that you feel comfortable with. If I just went inside my house and I stayed in front of my journal and I was just repeating myself, I am successful, I am successful, I am successful, I am successful, without my body feeling safe with that success, I'm sure this wouldn't have worked to make myself build a successful business and so on. So someone told me, just do small actions that get your body used to success, to do things that now feel uncomfortable for you, but once you do it, because they are not a threat, so it's not a big thing that will happen if you are doing it, then your system gets used that it is safe to do that. Yeah, it's safe. And then you can continue and build up on it and bring bigger actions towards success. And for example, one thing that I used to do that was very uncomfortable for me at the beginning was to go and stay in places where rich people would go, like in shops where they would go for shopping, in restaurants where they would go, in hotels where they would stay. And I would just go there and drink water, or I just would go there and take a tea, or I would just go there and look, not at the prices, but look at those clothes. And it was such an interesting exercise because I was observing my body. So at the beginning, when I was 20 years old, when I was entering those shops, first of all, I felt like a fraud. Like, what am I doing here? I don't have the right to enter this shop because I cannot buy anything anyway from this shop. So why am I coming here? Yeah, but it was just an exercise. So I went inside and I observed how my whole body used to tense, to not feel okay. I felt judged. I felt that the people working in the shop realized that I'm not able to buy those things and so on. Like, all my inner critic and everything was on, and I was sweating and I was feeling so uncomfortable. But going there and doing it once and again, I got used to it. And at some point, my body felt safe with just entering that shop and looking at those clothes and being like feeling good there, like really feeling good, even if I didn't buy at that time, And the moment you train your body to begin, for example, to feel good with certain situations, to offer yourself small things, then you train yourself that you are worthy of that and you can get that. Another example I can give you. For example, you take an Uber, like you go somewhere and you take an Uber and you have the option to go like economy, like low cost, or you add 10 lei or 10 euro more and you go like with a premium car, let's say like this. From time to time, I suggest you to take the premium option and just observe your body. It's not such a big deal. It's like 2 euros more and you can do it once in a blue moon if you want. But when you do it, just observe your body, how you feel when you do that. Because this way you train yourself to go for the premium options without fear. Usually we have so much fear inside of us that is built from our childhood, from our way of doing things. And this fear makes us stop and not do it and choose always the cheapest option, the cheapest way of doing things automatically. We don't even think about it. We choose, even when we have money, we can take the cheapest things, because this is the way our brain is trained. So if you want to go to the other side and to train your nervous system, you don't just repeat affirmation or use manifestation laws. You also go and do micro actions that put your nervous system into safe mode, slowly, step by step, not out of a sudden, because it will never happen out of a sudden. So in fact, what you need to do is to normalize in your nervous system something that now you put on a pedestal, like, wow, it's something so big, I cannot do it. So in order to normalize that big thing in your nervous system that you want to manifest, you need to do some micro actions to get your nervous system in safe mode around that thing. And those micro actions, you repeat it, you make small actions that are not life-threatening, you see it's safe for your body. Then, of course, once you regulate your nervous system and you breathe into it, you relax your body while you are doing it, then you can use those affirmations. You can go and apply the law of attraction, because now your nervous system is not resisting anymore. It's not saying stop. this is dangerous for me, I don't go there. It's saying, oh, it's okay, I feel safe with that. So this affirmation really is in resonance with me, is not against me. I will give you a very simple example. The last example for this episode, how things are working, is I repeat all the time. For example, I used to have always like 3-4 extra kilos. Like this was the fight of my life. Not so many kilos that you are frustrated, but enough that you feel like something is wrong inside, like really wrong. And I used to do all kinds of things, like things that were, I would say, abandoning myself and being violent against myself. What I mean by abandoning myself, because I was putting this perfect body on a pedestal, like I want to reach that perfect body. I used the affirmation, I used all kinds of things in this direction. I put this thing on a pedestal. It was something up here that I need to reach. Yeah, I need to reach this point and this kind of body. Okay, so I started to abandon myself. For example, when I could eat something healthy, very healthy, but it was, in my view, too many calories, I would say, no, this is healthy, but too many calories, so I don't eat it. So this was a way of abandoning myself. It was something good for my health, like fruits or something that was really healthy for me. And I said, no, this I cannot eat because this will not take me to that body that is here on the pedestal, and I have to not eat these fruits to get to this body. Yeah. Or I was even violent towards my body. When I said violent, and I was calling this consistency, like I am ill, I am not ill, it doesn't matter, I have a flu, I need to go to the fitness center. Yeah, because I need to reach that body. So I need to go no matter what, because I need to reach that body that is on a pedestal. So whenever we put something on a pedestal, we do that with our body, we do that with money. We put money on a pedestal, we put a milestone on a pedestal, something that we want to reach. What happens inside our nervous system is that we feel to push, to come with... our nervous system goes into fight in that moment. Yeah, it's not regulated. We go into fight mode. Yeah, and we go and do things in that direction because we feel that in order to get to that thing, we have to self-abandon or become even self-violent toward ourselves. How it works usually, and what was the biggest difference for me, was the moment when I normalized the fact that, of course, having a body that is like healthy and at that particular weight that I was visualizing, yeah, is something normal for me. It's like, there is no separation between me and that body. It's like, it's normal. And that body can be achieved through eating the fruits that I want to eat, through eating sometimes something sweet. It can be achieved by going to the fitness center, but not always, not when I feel ill, not when I have a flu, not when something happens or my knee is in pain. So I'm not anymore going into self-abandonment or self-violence against myself to reach that thing. And that is the moment when I normalized it in my nervous system. That body is something normal for my nervous system. It feels safe for me to have that body. In that moment, all the affirmation is working. Yeah, because I normalized it in my nervous system. So whenever you have something that you want to bring in your life, when you want to achieve, when you want to reach something in your life, I suggest you just remember this thing. You need to normalize it first in your nervous system. Then you can apply all the techniques, all of the modalities. But if you don't normalize it in your nervous system, what will happen is you can reach it, and then, for example, your body goes back to the same problem. Even if you reach the milestone, you go back to the previous amount of money that you used to make. You reach 50K and then you get back to 10K because you didn't normalize it. You put it on a pedestal and you went to make it happen. Yeah, in different ways. Sometimes even affirmations and different techniques for manifestation, like tapping for manifesting $1 million or I don't know what. Even these sometimes are a form of self-violence, where we are putting pressure on ourselves and we are doing it to get something. So I'm affirming that because I want to get something. I'm doing it to get something. When you are doing something to get something, This is the moment when you have to realize that you are into pressure mode. You are not feeling that something is something normal. Of course, it is in your life because it is not separate from you. So this is something so important for the nervous system, to normalize something, to make it safe before it will easily come into our life. And probably you ask yourself, okay, but how I normalize it? Can I normalize it in an easy way? Yes, you can normalize it in a very easy way. It's not through affirmations or different practices or different rituals when it's the full moon or the new moon or whatever. It's just through micro actions when you allow your body to feel safe with having that thing. Yeah, for example, I feel safe to have my body, let's say my perfect body, my healthy body, while I eat this fruit. I know that these two don't come in conflict. It's just my mind that brings them in conflict, but they don't come in conflict. The moment I normalize it, slowly I get to imprint in my internal system that it is okay. This thing is not separate from me, so it can come into my life and I can keep it in my life. Not just come in my life, but keep it in my life. So I don't just want money to come in my life. I want it to stay in my life and I want it to compound. Yeah, I don't just want to hit a certain body and then go back to where I was. I want it to stay in my life and evolve in a beautiful way. Yeah. So everything that we want to bring in our life and keep and compound or evolve in a beautiful way, we need to first normalize in our nervous system. From this episode, if you just apply this thing with normalization of some small things in your life, begin to play with your nervous system and to make safe different things that now you consider separate from you. You put them on a pedestal. Begin to do micro actions where you show to your body that it's safe, that this thing that till now you put on a pedestal, now it's safe to be part of your life. And slowly you will see that your life will change in many beautiful ways. Also, if you feel to make a big breakthrough, I invite you in the Receiving Codes, which is a free, brand new event that I organize, where you can go on the link that is attached to this podcast episode and join that free experience where we work on the art of receiving, which means to unhook you from the resistance that is in your nervous system now around receiving in an easy way. Yeah, and step into the frequency of ease, of receiving with ease, where receiving becomes inevitable, where receiving becomes something that of course will happen, yeah, in a totally different energy. And if you feel to go deep and deep and deep into nervous system work, leadership growth, and scaling your company, of course, the mastermind that I have, that is the Limitless Queen Mastermind, for 6 months, we work together weekly and we do the weekly course corrections, and we work on your nervous system, we work on your leadership, and of course on your own business. For the next episodes, I prepared you so many surprises. Just keep tuned to this podcast and make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you always know when we have a new episode.